So this one is on the west side of Tiree. It's like a good spot for surfing and windsurfing. And that was the first night I got out to Tiree, and I went to Tiree because one of the messages and bottles that I sent when I was prepping for my last show got found and washed up here by a girl who lives out in Tiree. And I got there quite late by the time the ferry got in and everything, and it was a pretty awful day, as to be expected, and torrential rain. And I found a wee gully to paint in, and I could see the couple of windsurfers out wondering what they were playing at in that weather, and lots of sea spray coming up and just heavy rain. So like this picture, I kind of lost it a couple of times. It disappeared, and then I was like, what am I doing here? Should I just persevere and then try and stick it back on again? And then it kind of washed away, and I was starting to, like, as with quite a lot of them now, are getting the paint's getting laid on with my hands, because the brushes are emulsifying with the seawater and the rain and stuff. So, and then I came in with some pastel. The colours here are all the kind of seaweeds that are all the dead kelp from the winter storm, so there's this lovely colour coming in. And then obviously you've got the turquoise waters of Tiree. Even when it's like a storm blowing, it's still a nice colour. And worked in with the line, and then it washed away a few times, and then some of it started to stick eventually. And it was dark, like finishing off with the head torch, all the palette was flooded, everything was flooded. I was just laughing. I found it very amusing and ridiculous. And then took it up to the van, like carrying a tray full of pints, like being really careful, because as soon as, when I was painting this on the beach, it had it on a slight angle, and all the water just runs down one corner and your picture's just pouring off the side. It was going into my palette, into my turps. Everything was a wash. Got it back up, carrying it, careful not to lose any more picture, into the back of the van, and then I was like, oh well, there's some of this maybe it's worth rescuing, and I came in with some bits of kitchen roll to try and dry it off before the van had to go up a hill, and so it wouldn't run away. And yeah, in the end it's one of my pictures. I'm quite attached to it, just because it was more like going out for a surf than going out for a paint, but a painting got done on the way.